my name's Malcolm Munro and I'm the president of Total Career Mastery. Today I'd like to talk to you about a communication model. Now this is a lot different than probably anything you've ever seen before because it looks a lot like this. You say, that's not a communication model, that's a ladder. But you know what? It actually is a communication model. This communication model is known as the ladder of inference. And what it does is it helps you think about what you are doing in terms of communication that could in fact lead to a misjudgment or even a conflict. There's different levels to the ladder. A few weeks ago I was boarding a plane, and I fly Southwest all the time, so as you probably know it is open seating, and I fly so often I have all the priorities, so I usually get on after maybe A16, A17. I usually get my seat, 5th row back from the front, aisle seat, and I want it on the right side so my left hip, which is arthritic, has a place to stretch out. Well, once you get in your seat, the next thing is that you wait for someone to take that window seat, which leaves that middle seat in the middle. You don't want to sit in the middle seat, nor do you want anybody to sit next to you in the middle seat if you fly alone as I do. So you begin to watch carefully and you start to look at people, and when the plane is full, and it usually is, then you look for little skinny people to sit in that middle seat. And if you see someone coming who you don't want to sit in the seat, you don't make eye contact, but if you do want them, you nod and do this number. Now, one of the things I've noticed as I fly is people do whatever they can to avoid having anybody sit in the middle seat. And they pull all kinds of stunts. So here a few weeks ago, I'm sitting there, finally have a skinny person in my middle seat, we're doing fine, and I notice these two old ladies sitting one row up on the opposite side. There's a middle seat open. And every time somebody asks if the seat's taken, that old lady says, no, that seat is saved. Now you can't save seats on Southwest. And so I watched 2 or 3 people do it, and then I motioned the lady next to me. I was getting really irritated. And I said loudly, hey, you're not supposed to save seats on these planes. I don't know what they're thinking. And that old lady turns around to me and she says, my friend is disabled, and we bought an extra seat here. And she holds up this placard that says reserved. And I felt about this small, and the rest of the flight I didn't want to look at her. So I'm glad it was only a 1-hour flight. You see, what I had done is I had sprinted up a model called the ladder of inference. Now this is a tool by a guy named Chris Argyris, and here's how it goes. We start at the bottom rung of the ladder and we observe whatever's going on, observations, as a video camera would capture it. But then what we begin to do is we start to select certain pieces of data. Now that's where things can go wrong because we begin to look at certain areas. And what we do is we make some assumptions about that data, which leads us then to some conclusions, which then leads us to actions we take. So here's how it worked with me. I saw 2 old ladies trying to save a seat. And I picked that out right away, and I made the assumption that what they were doing is saving seats. And seat savers are on my list of people that really irritate me on an airplane. So I determined they were the seat savers, and because I didn't like that, I started making comments to that person next to me. And then of course I made the wrong decision, didn't I? Now, that's my story. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one watching this video who's ever done this before. The key, if you want to do this well, is do what the author of this model, Chris Argyris, suggested, and that is to do a reflective loop. Ask yourself, why am I picking out this data? Why am I making these assumptions? Why am I drawing these conclusions? Stop yourself before you take the action, because in most cases, any action that has not been thought out this way will be the wrong action. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it too. If you are a manager and you struggle with this, as you're doing performance management, feedback, and coaching, it'd be a good idea to kind of think about this thing. If you own a company and you have challenges with your managers and direct reports doing this, maybe you need some additional help. If that's the case, why not give us a call? Let us come in and help you do this better. You can reach us by phone at 301-909-TCM1. Call us there, or you can get us by email at coach@contactmycoach.com, or just follow the website at totalcareermastery.com. Hopefully that helps. Have an awesome day, and thanks for checking out our video.